welcome back to Patreon exclusive episode number 7. I'm Mark Acevedo.
I'm Joel Torres, aka Joey with the Biz.
And we're joined today with our producer,
Dusty Justin.
Dusty Justin!
It is 9:10 p.m. and it is May 8th. And today we're doing a list on top 5 boss fights.
Oh shit.
For both of ours.
I haven't beaten the game.
And these are just, to clarify, I guess, these are bosses that you fight. So not just like villains in
That's
general.
a separate list. That's a separate show.
That's another show for another day. Also, this is our Patreon exclusive show. So if you're listening to this for the first time or you just haven't listened to it before, which would mean it's your first time, so I don't know why I said that. Basically, on this show, we have a bunch of topics that we put in the cereal box here that's in the studio. And we shake it up and we pick a topic out before we run. And these ideas are from me, Joey, and our producer. And you can send in...
You don't call me Joey.
All right.
Yeah, damn. He's
Is that weird? Yeah, he's like...
No, I'm sorry, but me and Mark have been friends for so many years. He's never called me Joey. Joey's a recent thing that's
I mean,
caught
you're
on.
introducing yourself as Joey with the Biz.
I'm saying my name is Joel Torres.
So do you want me to call you?
you're Joey with the Biz.
Do you want me to call you Joel Torres?
Yeah, you call me Joel Torres, please.
Okay,
No.
so the topics come from.
Don't ever call me Joey.
The topics come from me, Dusty Justin, and Joel Osmani Torres.
Thank you. You say my full name. I like
the security
Hey.
number with it.
No, it ain't that easy.
one. That's right. Guess the rest.
No Excel's given here. But yeah, you can send in your topics, not your full name, we don't want that, but you can send in your social
I like
security
full names.
number.
I like people's middle names. You don't like it?
Can you shut the fuck up and let Mark speak? Goddamn.
Because it's just so boring.
It's just so boring. Why don't you announce it then?
What are we talking about?
Oh, he doesn't even listen. So if you want to choose what topics we talk about, you can just comment them or you can DM us on any of our social media accounts. Anyway, you can get in contact with us. We'll take the topic ideas and we'll put them in the box and it might show up in a future show. So if you don't like what we're talking about, you can pick it and that's kind of the point. Also, we're not really sober, so it's kind of a relaxed show anyway. That's kind of the whole vibe for the show if you're new here.
I am 100% sober.
I have to be sober.
He has to be sober. And if you're not new here, then also obviously thank you for supporting and being a Patreon supporter.
If you're sober to us, we're going to get you fucked up tonight.
Goddamn.
we're gonna get you feeling good.
Crack a few open.
All right.
Also, just the stuff that we have to get out of the way. If you enjoy this and you get value out of it, you can drop a like. That helps us out. And if you want to be notified, subscribe to our channel. No matter where you're listening to this, either if it's on if it's on YouTube or if it's on Patreon, you can subscribe to it and you'll be notified whenever we drop an episode.
And make sure when you subscribe to YouTube, you hit the little bell
You can hit
notification.
the- yeah,
so you
hit
actually
the-
get a notification.
Hit the little bell.
Ring the bell.
You'll get a nice. Your phone will vibrate
Relax, you're getting copyright.
as soon as we're.
I know.
Oh, he sounds that good.
I sound just like it
He
does.
sounds that good. We're gonna get
I
copyrighted.
just like it.
Wow.
We're good right now. I got no strikes. You get 3.
You get 3
You get
strikes.
3. So sing that
Yeah, so we
song.
can take
Alright.
Yeah, we could take 2 strikes. We're fine for now. Alright, so this is an episode about boss fights, not copyright strikes. So, I mean, I'll start out with... Actually, you start out. You already got it pulled up here.
Oh, God, Dusty Justin. So my first boss fight is, well, should we say spoilers?
No, I mean, so...
Just go ahead just to be safe.
I mean, you can say... Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say spoilers. I would say spoilers for games that are current gen.
Because some of these are, like, ending boss fights.
I would say spoilers for games that are current gen.
Okay, so spoilers for God of War, if you have not played God of War, which...
Yeah.
If you haven't, play that shit, please, because it's amazing. But, so spoilers, you got 2 seconds. Turn it off right now.
That was more than 2 seconds. You had plenty of time.
All right. So my boss fight from God of War is the dragon fight scene, which happens about midway through the game. And this is like one of the most epic boss fights I think I've ever played in my entire life. That's why it's on my top 5 list.
Yeah.
And I've never played a God of War game before. And up to this point in the game, I was like, oh, it's like a different... Obviously, it's a different take on Kratos and all that stuff. But it didn't really... This is kind of like the first traditional God of War big monster fight scene, I would say, right?
Yeah,
What
I
would you
agree.
say? Because the rest of them were, like...
Because, like, if you're a fan of the God of War series and you play the ones that were on PS2 and PS3, you're obviously going to be well versed with how a lot of the boss fights are like environmental and like the monsters are huge and you climb them and like that's all kind of a set piece. But like if you're new to God of War, like I mean we are, the boss fights before this, spoilers again, but the boss fights
Are
before
just like
this,
people,
yeah,
like super powered people and gods in that sense, but
yeah,
they were just still like people.
they're not big monsters, yeah. But this is a great boss fight.
Yeah, this is a great boss fight. It's also like it's a great character moment because for Kratos, he's like trying to protect his son,
Yeah.
and also Atreus shows his value in this boss fight too, because oh man, I forgot.
And we're watching this boss
Yeah,
fight. So
we're
if
watching
if we are all of the things that we have listed,
We mentioned.
we're everything that we have here, our producer is pulling up as we're like talking. So if we're like, if you hear us be like, oh, we're like, oh this or oh that, it's because like we're actually watching it over again.
Yeah, but this boss fight is just awesome. It's like its scale. It's kind of clever in a little bit.
No,
but
it is. Yeah, it's a fun boss battle to actually fight. There's different stages. It's not just like
The
it's
dragon
not-
has different elemental effects.
yeah, it's not super repetitive. You're not just always doing the same thing. It's not like that's another thing that I like with all these God of War boss fights. I didn't feel like it's just like learn a pattern and then you're done. Like they have their stages.
Yeah, they all
that you
have,
go
like that's
through.
why I like multiple stages throughout a boss fight.
Also, it's so impressive that to like the scale that they're on and how like it doesn't feel there's no like cutscenes or like I mean the loading thing.
There's
if
no
you haven't
that's
played it
the
already,
whole
yeah.
God of War is not as you can play it from beginning to end without seeing a loading screen.
Yeah, but to
If
do
you
it in
know
a
that.
boss fight too is super impressive.
Yeah, I know, and I forgot you have to pick up like these like
The shards that are on the
shards that come
outside.
off of him. Yeah, that was a really cool boss fight, and I like how they incorporated the environment. I like obviously the scale.
Somebody in our studio doesn't appreciate that. game,
Somebody doesn't
but-
appreciate the game, but
Yeah.
Dusty Justin does not like God of War. He said it's boring. While watching this boss fight, you still think it's boring?
Yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
I'm shocked.
Wow. Okay, so this is gonna be Dusty Justin's last episode.
This is his last time ever.
This is the last time breathing. Oh,
See
man.
now, like even watching, I'm getting quiet over here because it's so entertaining to watch, and it looks so good. Everything that's happening.
Yeah, it looks entertaining to watch, but I just wouldn't want to
It's also entertaining to play. You know?
Yeah, it's actually that's what Mark was saying. Like it's fun to play these boss fights, and this is just a hell of a boss fight.
Yeah.
But let's just stop freaking watching it, and let's just jump to Mark's first boss fight.
All right,
Because
so-
you have anything else to say about it? It's just a great boss fight.
No, I don't.
It's
have
a great
any-
scale.
It's a great boss fight. That's. I mean, one of the best things that God of War did is just like the scale of it.
I mean, it's cool how it's
Everything
introduced.
in
It's kind of a
total.
surprise. Like it just
Yeah.
happens.
Like,
Like
that's just happened.
you're crawling out of the cave,
You're
and then
probably
just
like climbing up the whole mountain, and like
then-
it's a nice build up.
yeah.
Because yeah, like you said, it catches you off guard. Like you go through a whole like long level where like it's fun, but you're not expecting anything to really happen, and then that's just kind of like
Yeah.
it's the high point of like that section of the game, and like literally because you're at the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
So
All right. So we're gonna go to Mark's, but also spoiler warning for this game because this is the ending boss fight, right?
no,
This
this
is-
is not the ending boss fight, and I wouldn't give a spoiler warning because this is Dead Space.
Okay.
This is OG Dead Space 1. If you haven't played it yet, that's not our fault.
Oh shit.
No, because it's been out for
Oh,
Mark doesn't care.
Shit.
it's been out for 11 years.
Okay, but I'm just saying, spoiler warning. You haven't played Dead Space. We're gonna talk about Dead Space.
Yeah,
a boss
this isn't
fight.
the final boss fight. This boss fight's called the Leviathan. This is when you're in the when you're still in the USG Ishimura and you're in the food storage area. This is a giant necromorph that's like morphed into the ship and is like blocking your pathway. But I love this boss fight because it's in 0G and it's kind of like you're in this big cylinder where you're fighting this just like kind of like wall of flesh.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh, wow.
shooting these barrels at you and it has like tentacles and stuff. And if you've played Dead Space, you're familiar with like, yeah, there's weak points and they have like the yellow like pus kind of things. But I like this boss fight so much just because like you're in 0G, you're flying around and you're using the like,
You're using all elements of the game.
yeah, you're using the kinesis to like
Yeah.
get ammo and supplies and all that stuff. There's like the explodable cylinders around. Yeah, exactly. You
Using
do
all elements of the game in this boss fight, which is always fun when that incorporates all gameplay elements and it's not just like one singular thing.
And again, like for the time, this is a big scale boss fight. Like for 2008, this is like a huge deal.
I mean, this is a big deal now. This is better than most modern games boss fights.
Yeah. So I had to put this on there because like the ending bosses are really cool for Dead Space too. But I just remember
But it's
this
just a
one.
marker, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a
In
mental
Dead Space
thing.
2, it's just the marker. In Dead Space 1, it's the I don't remember the name, but it's a big creature.
It is okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is awesome. I remember this boss fight. This is very fun. It's also kind of just scary because obviously Dead Space is a scary game, but just like
Yeah.
the creature design in Dead Space was also so like fun in a like
'Cause-
creepy weird way. It's fun.
The final boss of Dead Space 1, it's not 0G, you're just on a platform and
Yeah.
you're just shooting the yellow things. This one is the same thing,
But you're like
it's 0G
Yeah,
and
you're
you're like
diving
in a-
around.
You're in like a big cylinder where it's just like that whole thing is just like
And
nasty
it's, and it's
flesh.
fairly hard.
Yeah.
Hard to do when you're playing on the hardest difficulty, but I got that platinum. Don't worry about it.
Not the second one though.
Yeah, you got one from the second
Previous
game.
episode callback.
You got one from the second game.
What?
A boss fight.
No.
Then what the fuck are you talking about it?
I'm just saying. You even play any of these games?
No.
That's
I've
true.
never even down.
I'll let you say.
Justin doesn't even know anything. He's a baby. He doesn't even know.
I've
it.
seen Joey.
He hasn't even played.
I've seen Joey play Dead Space.
Oh yeah, and then it starts shooting stuff at you too, which is like why you have to keep running.
This is
around.
what I mean. I mean, we're probably gonna notice this throughout all these boss fights, but the stages of the boss fight, like
It's
the
a big
dragon,
deal.
it's fun when it has multiple dynamics of the boss fight,
Yeah.
and it's not just the same. Oh, try to hit the yellow thing. Oh, try to.
Actually, that's a good point. I think all of my boss fights are on here because the setting is so cool.
Yeah.
It's like an arena.
I honestly think my next boss fight is probably the weakest out of all of them. I
Alright.
like it so much.
This Dead Space one looks weird. Like when when it's looking down at it, it looks like that's the floor, like a little bit.
Yeah, because it's 0G.
Yeah, it looks weird. It looks cool though. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is weird.
All right, so we're gonna go to my boss fight.
The worst one.
The worst one.
Worst boss fight or just worst arena? Is that what you're saying?
I think worst boss fight probably on both of our lists, but it's like
Oh, yeah.
memorable.
But it is memorable.
Is the Voss boss fight, which obviously if you haven't played Far Cry 3,
Can you die during this?
I don't even know if you can. We're gonna watch it, but I don't think so. It's short and it's not like it's memorable, but not great.
It's memorable, but it's not like a difficult boss
Yeah.
fight.
So this is for Voss for Fallout 3, which is like the main villain in the game.
Just
Spoiler
so
alert.
everyone's aware, we said we weren't sober here. It's Far Cry 3, not Fallout 3.
I said Fallout.
You said Fallout 3.
Oh, I thought.
We're out here in the wasteland.
Oh
with
god.
Voss.
Far
Also,
Cry 3, Fallout 3.
could you have your cup any more precarious?
I know he isn't like falling off the edge of the
Jesus.
table.
I'm just messing around. So Far Cry 3 Voss boss fight. Spoiler warnings. You kill Voss. It's fucking like 10 years old. Deal with it.
Yeah.
But so this he's the main guy. He has the whole insanity line. Insanity's doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And he has a bunch of great memorable lines. And you're just trying to hunt him down and kill him. And then you eventually find him in this little warehouse. And then it's. Are you getting hit with
So
gas?
nice of you
What?
to try to explain it. I feel like I don't have like the patience.
Well, no, because I'm trying
I'm
to
like if they didn't play
Actually,
it like
I think I've played this one.
No, because I'm
I think
trying to
I've
set it
fought
up. Because I'm trying to figure out how you get to this sequence where it's like it's like you're drugged, and then you start seeing multiple screens
What I
and
do
multiple
remember-
events throughout the game. And Voss comes and talks to you, and you're in like this whole drug
Yeah,
sequence.
some dancing around a pole.
And then it's not really a fight because it just ends when you coming out of the sequence and stabbing Voss.
yeah. What I remember really well is that this is not the end of the game.
Yeah, and
which
that's
I
how.
wish it was.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, it was kind of cool when it's like, oh, it's not the end of the game, but then it's like the real ending is not as good as this.
Just because he's the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it goes to like Hoyt, right?
Yeah. See,
Hoyt.
like it's forgettable because he's like one of the best villains. Period.
Yeah, so then it's just really like cool psychedelic drug sequence that is kind of synonymous now with Far Cry, which
Yeah.
Far Cry 3 really started.
Yep.
And he just starts talking to you and giving you like excellent dialogue, and you're like, oh fuck, Voss is so cool. And then you just come snap out of it and you stab him right in the neck.
Yeah.
And then that's it. It's really anticlimactic, but it's very memorable. And oh man, it's such a good game though.
I think I've actually played this one before. Like there's like one boss fight I can definitely remember.
Yeah, and then since you're drugged out, they send out fake Vosses and stuff like that. It's just a traditional like drug sequence from Far Cry, but I think that the character moments from Voss himself in it were
When
really
you're
what
playing
put
it,
it over
you're-
the top, and it makes it
Yeah.
kind of like top 5 because it's so memorable.
And when
Not
you're
necessarily
playing,
the
you
best.
get very amped up. to
Yeah,
do it.
because you're excited. You've been hunting this guy down. He's been talking shit to you the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And you're like, I finally can get his ass. But yeah, that's all I have to. You have anything to add to it?
I'm trying to see. I want him to get to the end because I don't remember if you stab him or shoot him.
I thought you stabbed him in the neck, but
Well, it's a success.
well, that's great, Justin.
Alright, relax.
Can you click the right point?
It's not
Alright.
forward. Oh god. All right, Justin.
No dead air. We'll just move on to the, the next
Jesus,
thing.
Justin. This is why we need video so they can see how fucking stupid.
Dude, I'm legit clicked it. Oh.
No, well, there he is dead. So
That
we,
was
don't,
him right there.
we don't know what happened, but he's dead.
You stab him.
Yeah, you do stab him. There.
Okay, yeah.
What, you just lay down next to him?
It's
like,
my
throw
top
him?
5 boss fights. I'm not gonna remember how it ended.
Hey, you do stab him.
That's what I'm saying,
With a
yeah.
sword.
It's
Oh,
my
shit,
top
that's a cool
5.
ass sword.
I just wanted to see it because I didn't remember. It's been so
I know
long.
you're a sick fuck.
And then look, you lay down on the floor.
All right, we know we
I
got
saw
it.
to see
We
it.
don't have to mention it
Oh,
on the
shit, that's kind of
podcast.
creepy. Look at that. You saw that?
That's what I'm
What?
saying. It's a memorable scene. I'm surprised Mark forgot
No, but I'm
about
saying,
it.
like, you go and cuddle with him, and then, like, he...
It's not the cuddle.
I mean,
the
you
camera
don't like
moves
cuddle
it.
with him. It's because you're like passing out or something because you're on like drugs probably, and then you wake up because the screen fades to white, and then you're. I think you're just like in the middle of his camp because you're walking into a hangar.
And then you realize,
before,
hoit,
before all that stuff
and the
starts
main
up.
boss.
Thank you for listening to the Patreon exclusive preview. If you liked it, you can go ahead and support us on patreon.com/thehudgaming. If you join the $2 tier, the early riser tier, you'll get the full episode every week, and you'll get a free shout out on our free weekly feed episode. Also, if you enjoyed it, you can go ahead and drop us a like on the video and subscribe wherever you're listening, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, or review it. All of that support really helps us out, and we really appreciate it, and thank you so much for listening. Also, if you join our Patreon and you like these episodes, you can give us topics for these episodes, and maybe a topic that you write will become an episode. So, like we said, thank you so much for listening. If you'd like the full episode, go ahead and support us on Patreon. Thank you, and have a good day.